Oh, things are looking pretty cloudy. You can see it all from our first interstate bank eye cam. A little bit of sunshine there over the horizon, but for the most part, you have those dark, mean-looking clouds. That means there's some weather on the way, and Ed will tell us all about that in his forecast in just a few minutes. But for now, let's go ahead and get some news. Chinese and South Korea state media are reporting North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met with China's leader during an unofficial visit. The North Korean leader was in China from Sunday to Wednesday. He reportedly discussed his desire for better relations with the South and his willingness to hold talks with the U.S. Louisiana's Attorney General will not file charges against two Baton Rouge police officers in the death of Alton Sterling. The 37-year-old father of five was shot and killed by police in 2016 as they tried to arrest him outside a Baton Rouge convenience store. A months-long review of the incident by the state AG found the officers' actions to be reasonable and justified. And protests continue in Sacramento, California, following the death of an unarmed black man at the hands of police. Stephon Clark's brother interrupted a city council meeting Tuesday, calling for justice. Police shot and killed Clark in his grandmother's backyard last week, believing he had a gun. It turned out to be a cell phone. Continuing our coverage in Colstrip, a power plant merger is moving forward. Washington state utility regulators say they've reached a settlement in the proposed merger that could speed up the closure of Colstrip units 3 and 4. That takeover settlement includes $3 million for the community of Colstrip, but it also means the town could lose its last two coal-fired power plants sooner than expected. The $5.3 billion merger between Hydro One and current co-owner Avista could speed up the closure of Colstrip units 3 and 4 by 8 years. That's because Hydro One would pay off 8 years of outstanding debt, moving the depreciation schedule for the units to 2027 instead of 2035. It also includes a promise from Avista to commit $3 million to the Colstrip community to soften the economic blow. The merger still requires approval from federal regulators as well as utility commissions in Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Montana, and Alaska. Colstrip's older units 1 and 2 are already scheduled to be shut down by 2022. Meanwhile, Billings School District 2 has narrowed down its list of potential superintendents from 5 to 3. Greg Upham is the current Helena Public Schools Assistant Superintendent. He's worked in education since 1988. Rebecca Salato is the Chief Operating Officer for Action Learning Systems in Pasadena, California, and Ross Kasem of New Jersey, who has been the Freehold Township School District Superintendent since 2011. Their final interviews are scheduled for mid-April. Elsewhere, Governor Steve Bullock made a stop in Billings Tuesday to tour the area and tout the economic and educational benefits of early childhood education. Bullock helped secure the state's first ever investment in publicly funded, high-quality early childhood education at the state legislature. HB 639 passed with bipartisan support and directs $6 million over 2 years to implement the STARS preschool pilot program. Until last year, Montana was one of only 6 states that had not invested state funds for public preschool.
For every dollar the state invests, there's like a $7 to $9 return, and you're really setting kids up for success. So I'm hopeful that we'll see this next legislative session recognition from legislators that when 44 other states are doing it, when we know it's making a difference for our kids, that we really ought to up the investment in Montana as well.
More than 300 children are enrolled in STARS preschool classrooms. Research shows early interventions such as preschool turns into state savings down the road. Those areas include special education, child protection services, corrections, and safety net programs. And speaking of the governor, speculation of a 2020 bid is ramping up as the Washington Post names Governor Bullock a top 15 pick to lead the ticket against President Trump. Bullock plans to help campaign next week for a friend in Iowa Attorney General Tom Miller, who's seeking re-election. So far, Montana's two-term governor has deflected the idea of running for president, but he has not denied entertaining the idea. So during his stop in Billings, we posed the question again.
I have a job that I love, that is all-consuming, and I'm going to be governor certainly for the next 3 years and work darn hard each and every day. So when it comes to 5 years from now, I'm just looking weeks and months ahead, certainly not sure what the future will hold in that respect. I'm excited to go out there for a couple days, but By and large, I get the greatest job, certainly in Montana. I think in America, it's not without some challenges, but blessed to get to be a governor here.
In other news, the New Helena group is taking unwanted firearms off the streets. Bruce Seiler and Chip Ayers are co-founders of the National Center of Unwanted Firearms. Both men worked for the U.S. Secret Service and have a combined 80 years of experience working with firearms. People can submit a gun to the nonprofit and choose to have it sold or destroyed. Or if the gun has historical value, this organization will coordinate with a museum. Another part of the center's mission is to promote gun safety in the home. And now we go to Glacier National Park, where the latest pictures show a fire-damaged Sperry Chalet still standing despite heavy winter snow. A new overflight of the chalet, which was gutted by a wildfire last summer, shows the building filling with snow, which could be as much as 40 feet deep. With funding help from the Glacier National Park Conservancy, the scorched walls were braced last fall with hopes they would withstand the snow, giving the park a chance to reclaim the walls and use them as the foundation for rebuilding the chalet. Glacier National Park is working on preliminary designs to rebuild the chalet, although it will probably be another season before the project can be complete. The Conservancy's action to fund to rebuild the Sperry Chalet is over $131,000 now, with donations coming in from all over the country. The group had set an initial goal of $119,000.